Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Player Zone YouTube channel. And France got through just last night, their first group game of the tournament, and they had to work hard to get the win past Austria in the end, which was a really entertaining game. Again, one of the later games, there wasn't much goal-mouth sort of action, but compared to the England game, much more entertaining. And the French employing that same sort of defensive solidity and counter-attacking football that we've seen in past tournaments once again worked, I guess, to a great extent here, getting the result. But you think coming to this game, I predicted even a 4-goal victory for the side. I thought they'd put the Austrian side to the sword, but Austria was a team that came out of this game, I guess, as a team that impressed more, that showed a bit more, and I'm really impressed with their 90 minutes. I'll talk about them a little bit later in this video here, but a really impressive display from them, I guess, from any regards to the French. Impressive to get the result, get over the line and go to the next game, but obviously some big injury news with Kylian Mbappe looking like he'll miss the rest of the group stage games. Some of the game can be summed up by the stats. 52% possession, 2 big chances, 5 shots, and 476 passes for Austria, who grew and grew into the game as it deepened, whereas France only had 48% possession, the 2 big chances of their own, 14 shots and 453 passes. So less passes, less possession, but looked more dangerous when they went forward. I think that's the difference, that dynamism in the final third, the world-class talent they've got in the final third, and the quality of the fullbacks in this game was probably the difference and the reason why they were so dangerous when going forward. And when you have Kylian Mbappe on your side, normally you're going to win more games than you lose. Let's just jump into the game and run through the play-by-play. Obviously, France started stronger, and it's been a theme of a lot of the tournament so far that there'll be a stronger team to start well. They need to convert on the early chances, and it was Mbappe in the 8th minute who forced the first save of the game for Patrick Pence, who was really solid in this game here at the near post, kept that early shot out. But early on, it was all French domination, 70% possession plus through the early moments. And you saw the likes of Adrien Rabiot, Theo Hernandez, Kylian Mbappe, and Antoine Griezmann early on being the key figures. Antoine Griezmann dropping into spaces, picking up the ball. Theo Hernandez getting that license to push on and overlap on the left-hand channel. And then Marcus Thuram played a very underrated role off the left, inside, on the right. He just basically moved around to create space for Kylian Mbappe, and a very unselfish role in this game here that no one will really talk about. But that opening chance was created by Mbappe on the left-hand channel there, and it was catered from the French winning the ball off Austria in their defence and springing a counter-attack with 2 to 3 passes and in behind the back line. As I said, though, Patrick Pence, first save made him a very busy night he'll have in the future. Baumgartner then had the next massive chance. Came in the 36th minute, between now and then, to the early chance, and then France had some more chance and some possession, but I think it was sort of at the 20-minute mark, we started to see Austria string together a few more passes. The likes of Marcel Sabitzer, Baumgartner, and when they, from the wing-back position, get more involved, Gregoritsch dropping in and getting a few touches of the football, and we started to see the tide sort of shift. It was towards more Austrian persuasion. We saw them link together a few bit of passes, and the massive chance came. It was Baumgartner who was denied in the 36th minute. Gregoritsch drifted out wide, the centre forward out to the left-hand channel. He whipped the ball into Marcel Sabitzer, who had a very smart first touch to bring the ball past William Saliba, and Baumgartner was basically through on goal. Angle closing, and Mike Maignan came out very smartly, very quickly to close the space down, and he made a massive save to deny Baumgartner, who was very dangerous. Whenever he got in the ball, it was a positive for the Austrian side. He was creating a lot. He was their real like a light spark in the final third. Marcel Sabitzer had an interesting game. Didn't really make an impact as much as I thought he would. He was stuck really high up the pitch, and I think he does a bit for BVB where he plays sort of off the strike, off Nicholas Füllkrug, and it works there because you've got more transitional players in that team. But it felt like a game where Marcel Sabitzer had to sit a little bit deeper for my liking, get on the ball more often than not. Still made an impact on the game, but I think his impact could have been increased if he was playing in a more deeper role and could connect the game up. So I think they're missing out on that, but you saw there from that one time, first time pass into Baumgartner for that massive chance, he would have an impact in this game going forward. That was a massive chance missed in the 36th minute, and then minutes later, it was down at the right-hand channel. Kylian Mbappe, who I said was basically playing across all front three positions, came out to the right-hand side, and when his poor clearance allowed a second opportunity for France, it was Ousmane Dembélé that played Kylian Mbappe in, and he just dropped the shoulder on the defender, skipped past him, made it look way too easy, got to the bar line, cut the ball back, and it was unfortunate for Maximilian Verber in the end, who headed the ball into his own net to give the French a 1-0 lead in the 38th minute. Again, another key theme of the tournament so far. You miss a big chance at one end, normally the opposition come back and hurt you minutes later, and that's what the French side did there, and probably their best moving in behind up to that point outside of the early 8th minute chance, and it ends in the back of the net. And simply put, it was just Kylian Mbappe making the difference. He dropped the shoulder and went, and he was already on a yellow card and couldn't really make a challenge, and it was too easy for Kylian Mbappe to get in behind. And when he whips the ball into the air, you think always someone's going to be on the end of it. So Maxime Werber smartly getting ahead onto it, just unfortunate to head it anywhere other than the goal, and it found the back of the net. So 1-0 to that point in time. And going into half time, led 1-0. Austria again continued to build come the end of the first half, but just unable to have that real sharp edge in the final third, the ability to break down the French back line. William Saliba looked a bit dodgy at times, but continued to make the good challenges. Upamecano covering off well. Teo Hernandez doing very well back there, and also going forward. And importantly, as the game went deeper, Adrien Rabiot and also N'Golo Conte were the big players this side. They were the ones sweeping up defensively, breaking the play up, not allowing Austria to string together consistent passes. I think their pass accuracy was not as high as they'd want it to be, because both teams are really physical. It was a very physical game. There was bandages galore, broken noses, there was crunching tackles, yellow cards to be had, because both teams were pressing, counter-pressing each other, and it looked like a game that just didn't quite live in the centre of the park, but would go end to end, but it would be a really tough task to sort of gain ground. It's almost like a rugby game where like each inch gained, each yard gained was a massive deal because of how physical the game was. It was a real taxing game, and you'd see that at full time. Coming out of half time, again, chances were limited, but it took to the 55th minute, and again, it was Kylian Mbappe. He was played in behind for Antoine Griezmann, who played a nice lob ball over the back. We got in behind Danso. Maximilian Werber was on alongside him, but he left him for dead with his pace. That turn of pace in behind, one-on-one with Patrick Pence, but for some reason didn't hit the target. And I was shocked. Fans were shocked. The commentators were shocked in the broadcast as well. I was sitting here and thinking, have I seen that right? He put that killing effort wide of the far post, and it was an effort that never really curled. It sort of started outside the far post and never came back in to make the target. So disappointing miss there for Kylian Mbappe, and all in all, quite a frustrating afternoon for him. From then, Marcus Thuram was the next player to test Patrick Pence. He was played in behind Antoine Griezmann. Once again, found him through the right-hand channel. His powerful shot was saved by the low-down save for Patrick Pence with his right hand there. A few really important saves in this game here. Decent with the ball at his feet. Really, really solid performance. Someone, again, that I wouldn't really know about if I hadn't watched Austria play the game. So another player we can discover here is a really solid keeper, all in all, a young guy, and the future looking very bright for him. And then 85th minute was the big moment. It was Wimmer played in behind. I think it was a French corner, which Mbappe ended up being injured from, but the Austrians continued to play on. And for a minute, it looked like Wimmer, who came off the bench and changed the game. He was a bit more technical on the ball, would drive into spaces, looked to get the give and go, and was really functioning really well for the Austrian side. He was basically through on goal, past William Saliba, past Upamecano. Both of them were up high up the pitch, past Teo Hernandez, but from somewhere, I don't know where it came from, N'Golo Conte came across and tackled Wimmer to deny that attack in the 85th minute, and Wimmer looked like he was clearing through a goal to face Magnan, and I guess in the form Magnan was in, it probably would have made the save. But all that being said, Wimmer was in all this space, willing to run in behind, go through on goal. But N'Golo Kante, a real theme of the second half was he was everywhere. Whenever the French needed to break up the play, he was there. Needed important touch, N'Golo Kante was there. And it was a fantastic chase down challenge to keep the Austrians at bay. And despite all the attacks and all the possession and build-up play and territory they were winning, they never really had that massive shot. It'd probably be the biggest one coming late in the game with Marko Arnautovic with Basie in the last minute. Ball whipped across the edge of the area. Comes towards the back post, unmarked. Arnautovic heads towards goal and just pulled his header wide, going back across goal. And that was the final chance of the game, and would miss. And Austria, as such, would end up losing this game 1-0. Again, a sort of classical French tournament type performance where they don't really click early on. They just sort of grind their way through games. They use that defensive solidity. And I think Didier Deschamps was right to pick N'Golo Kante. He said, if he's fit, I'm going to pick him. And he did pick him. And the impact he made in this game was phenomenal. All over the park, every blade of grass, he was there, making life hell for the Austrian midfielders and also the forwards in many regards as well. It was, I guess, a theme of the game where Austria had a lot of territory and a lot of possession, as I said, but that went able to create that massive chance. And I feel like that's down to what N'Golo Kante was able to do in midfield, not allow easy possession and allow Austria to just walk their way towards the final third. It was made tough because Kante went there, because Adrien Rabiot was in there. Antoine Griezmann was working back defensively. Teo Hernandez dropping back in and making it hard. And as such, you see that happening. You see Austria have to work way too hard. At full time, they were all on their hands and knees. Half the disappointment they didn't get a result in this game. Secondly, because they were just spent. It was such a physical, taxing game. Obviously, I didn't mention Kylian Mbappe breaking his nose on Kevin Danso's shoulder in an attempt to head home in the 85th minute as well, which led up that Wimmer chance as well. So he looks like, from rumours, he'll miss until the knockout stages, which should be fine for France to qualify, but you lose that match sharpness by missing these games. That's a big news as well. But all in all, a really, really entertaining game. I guess not the most back and forth game that we saw with the Romanian-Ukraine game, and probably not even like some of the games we saw earlier, but much better than the England-Serbia game that we saw the night before. But a real taxing type affair. It gave me that sort of early 2000s Premier League type vibe where there's tackles galore, yellow cards, physicality, blood nose, bloody heads, scratches, bruises everywhere. It was just one of those sort of games, but it was really entertaining to watch because both teams were willing to throw numbers forward. I think what I learned from the game, and I'll do my match day one wrap up, I think, tomorrow after all the match day one fixtures have come through. But Austria have also surprised me. I thought they came into this tournament without David Alaba and a few players unknown to midfield and forward areas that'd be a bit more pragmatic. You know, the Verbers of the world, the Dansos, I know a lot of these sort of players, and I think they're solid enough at the back. But when you miss David Alaba, you don't have that real quality or next level type quality in midfield. You'd expect them to sit in, but they didn't do that. They took it to France, and I talked about the counter press and the press they employ under Ralf Rangnick and hoping they'd play. That was a more of a hopeful statement in the predictions, but they went and did it, and as such, it hurt the French. It didn't allow that slow build-up play. And I think the Netherlands in this group as well, it could catch them off guard as well. Another team likes to play nice and slow and build up from the back, and as I say, like to say, lull the opposition into submission. The Austrians' intensity, energy, pace that they play with might catch the Netherlands off guard, will definitely catch the Polish off guard if they're not careful as well. So going forward, there is still a big chance to qualify out of this group because the Netherlands are not most convincing in their result. I still reckon they're a really solid team. Obviously, the French are, for me, they're still the favourites, but again, both top two teams not convincing. Able to get some results against these teams. It's a good sign for the Austrias and the Polands that they may be able to cause some problems here in this group. Maybe qualify to the third place qualifications we had to see, but I was really, really impressed with what the Austrians able to do. Patrick Pence getting a 7.0 match rating, Nicholas Seiwald getting a 7.4 match rating, Marcel Sabitzer ending with a 7 match rating, Christoph Baumgartner only the 6.1 match rating, but his stats says a lot about what he did in this game. He had the 49 touches, 96 pass accuracy, 1 key pass, 2 successful dribbles, 3 out of his 13 ground duels. He was just a workhorse. Whenever he got on the ball, they looked really, really dangerous, especially in the second half there. So another key figure to keep an eye on from going forward, if you're keeping an eye on Austria as the tournament comes on. Bringing me now to the 3 key players for the game, starting off for the French side. Obviously, Kylian Mbappe inadvertently gets the assist, I guess, in many regards to the goal. It was his A-star brilliance, his quality that got that goal and won the game for the French side, dropping the shoulder on the left back then and getting in behind, and that ball, I feel sorry for Maxime Verbe. You have to get ahead on that because if it goes in, I think it was actually Antoine Griezmann coming in behind to probably knock the ball home. So you had to get ahead on it. It's unfortunate to find the back of the net, but Mbappe was very solid in this game. Finishing wise, not his best, but all in all, just in terms of a package, really impressive. 3 out of 6 dribbles completed, 92% pass accuracy, won 6 out of 10 of the ground duels, didn't lose an aerial duel, 7.2 match rating. Really, really solid Mbappe performance. We have so much expectation because of his performance in the World Cup and when he wears that French jersey. But interesting to say, he still hasn't got a goal in the European Championships final. So interesting if he gets that goal eventually, especially considering he might miss now all of the group stages with that broken nose. Next, about to touch, and it was very close to winning man of the match for me, was Teo Hernandez. Really great first 30 minutes, went quiet from 40 to 60. I sort of said that in the live watch song as well, but at the end of the game as well, really well defensively. But I think the biggest thing for him is his talent to up and down that left back position there. I talk about a lot in the podcast. I love the Serie A fullbacks at the moment. There's a lot of great quality playing for Italy, playing here with Teo Hernandez for France as well. They're just really, they're used to fullbacks, used to some fullbacks, but they allow that license to push on. And it's not like the Premier League where everyone's now trying to invert. It's more traditional left back and right back positions where you get up and down the touchline, but they have accountability, but they have to go back defensively. The Serie A origins of defensive first mentality is still there in these left backs, but the modern day football application of when they play 3 centre backs and you're a wing back, or when you're playing the full back but you have the license to push on, you get the best of both worlds. And you see that here with Teo Hernandez. 4 clearances, 2 tackles, wins 6 out of 7 the ground duels, wasn't dribbled past once in the game, 2 key passes, 1 chance created, a 7.7 match rating, one of the best match ratings amongst anyone in this game. I think he was SofaScore's man of the match. He was just fantastic. And I think the difference where he has with other players in the world is he can get fouled but get the ball going forward. I think it was a few times he was taken out, but he got the ball played quick enough that he was fouled but released the ball in time to get France going on the counter-attack. And the way they played their football yesterday and in the past, where they do try and sit back a little bit deep at times and spring the counter-attack to allow Mbappe's pace and Dembele's pace to actually hurt teams. It actually helps Teo Hernandez because he's a really good pass of the ball and very good getting his help early and finding that pass early and springing the counter-attack. So he works so well in this system, works fantastically well for AC Milan. And I just can't remember a game where I've seen Teo Hernandez produce a poor performance. I think that's the biggest compliment you can give the guy. He doesn't really put in anything below a 7 out of 10 type performance. And in this game, he's fantastic. Second best though to N'Golo Kante, who wins man of the match for me. 73 touches, 2 key passes, 5 out of 10 ground duels, 1 clearance, 2 interceptions, 3 tackles, 1 last man tackle in the game. Obviously, that massive chase down tackle on Wimmer. 7.3 match rating, covered basically every blade of grass. In the early 10 to 20 minutes, I said it in the live watch song, him and Rabiot were sort of being passed around or avoiding the game and not really involved in the game. But as the game got deeper, they were more important covering defensively. He made that last-ditch challenge. He was linking up the game well, picking up the ball in important areas, dribbling out of defence. And you see, I said it in the live watching as well, the aerobic capacity of N'Golo Kante is incredible. And as games go deeper, he gets more and more important. And the fact he's gone to Saudi, you forget about him. Is his career over, international career over? But no, Didier Deschamps saw something in him. He said, if he is fit, I will pick him. And he's picked him here, and he was the difference in that game. If he isn't there to close down Wimmer, I'm pretty sure he goes through on goal, gets the ball past Magnon, and they probably draw that game 1-1 against Austria. That's a massive 3 points drop because potentially Mbappe goes down the ball. He misses more group stage games. They lose to the Netherlands. They don't beat Poland. Like, it all just goes sideways, right? And they are the favourites for me for the tournament for a reason, because they've got guys like N'Golo Kante that produce incredible performances in incredible moments. And it just goes under the radar. And the depth, Tchouaméni, Camavinga off the bench still, Olivier Giroud on the bench still, Kolo Muani off the bench. There's so much talent. And N'Golo Kante is keeping these type of players out of the team. Adrien Rabiot is keeping players like that out of the team. But I think Didier Deschamps' cards have been shown, though. The fact he's played these 2 workman-like holding midfielders means that these 2 will sit in. They'll sit with 2 centre-backs, these 2 holding midfielders, probably Teo Hernandez will push on the other fullback position, likely to sit in a little bit more, and the rest will go forward and attack. And then you'll get that sort of counterbalance between sitting in deep and then counter-attacking, and then these guys sitting and allowing the others to go attack. So it's a really important selection, I think, for the build-up and the make of this side and how they're going to function. But I think it's such an important selection. He makes such a difference. He's a winner. Leicester City, Chelsea, you can see he contributes to winning. And it's really unfortunate he's going to Saudi because I'd love to see him back down the top 5 league doing what he does best. But you see what he's done in that game there. That's the N'Golo Kante I used to. That's the man that covers every blade of grass. That's the man that does not give any player an inch. Even in that game last night, the Sabitzers, the Sidewells, the Grealish, all closely man-marked by N'Golo Kante. He didn't give any central midfielder or attacking midfielder for the Austrian side a second to breathe. And that's just the player he is. Builds and builds and builds. I can't wait to see what he can do in this tournament because there's not many players like an N'Golo Kante running around the park. Maybe Robert Andrich for Germany, but not to the intensity and the tank that N'Golo Kante has. He might be the X factor for the French in the end. With all that being said, after all the great players they've got, it might be N'Golo Kante that makes a difference in this tournament. So that'll be very, very interesting to see. With that being said, ladies and gents, a massive win for France. Grinding out a result, an important result against a very tough Austrian side who I'm going to keep an eye on now. They might be a bit of a dark horse to maybe cause some problems qualifying to the 3rd place, maybe in the round 16, causing some problems with some top teams there because they're a very, very tough team to handle, and Ralph Rangnick set them up very, very nicely. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you enjoyed the video, guys, smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Zone channel for more content like this, and press that post notification bell so we upload more podcasts and videos like these. I'm taking a day off from live watch-alongs, but we will be back shortly for more watch-alongs. Thank you for all those who join me. Even those who watch them back after the time, that's much appreciated. Please also share the channel with mates who enjoy this type of content. That would be much appreciated. I hope you know the upcoming football content. More content coming here on the Players Zone channel. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in another video very, very soon. Next time, guys. See you later.